Have you ever looked at your horoscope and wondered how a group of stars supposedly knows something about your personality? For thousands of years, zodiac signs have fascinated people across different cultures, inspiring myths, traditions, and beliefs that continue to influence millions today. But the real history of the zodiac is far more fascinating than daily horoscope predictions. It is a story of ancient astronomy, powerful civilizations, mythology, and humanity's endless desire to understand the universe. Today, the zodiac is commonly associated with 12 personality types based on birth dates. However, the original purpose of the zodiac had nothing to do with predicting love, careers, or personal fortunes. Instead, it began as an ancient system for tracking the movement of the sun, moon, and planets across the sky. Long before telescopes existed, people depended on the heavens to measure time and predict changing seasons. Knowing when to plant crops, harvest food, or prepare for floods often determined whether entire civilizations would survive. The earliest known zodiac system was developed by the ancient Babylonians more than 3,000 years ago in Mesopotamia. These skilled astronomers spent generations carefully observing the night sky and recording the movements of celestial objects. They noticed that the sun appeared to travel along a specific path through the stars over the course of a year. This path eventually became known as the zodiac. The Babylonians divided this celestial path into 12 equal sections, each linked to a different constellation. These 12 constellations eventually evolved into the zodiac signs recognized around the world today. Aries represented the ram, Taurus symbolized the bull, Gemini represented the twins, Cancer became the crab, Leo was the lion, Virgo represented the maiden, Libra became the scales, Scorpio symbolized the scorpion, Sagittarius represented the archer, Capricorn became the sea-goat. Aquarius symbolized the water-bearer, Pisces represented two fish connected together. The number 12 was especially important because it divided the year into convenient sections and closely matched the yearly lunar cycles. For the Babylonians, the movements of the heavens were believed to reflect important events happening on Earth. At first, astrology focused almost entirely on kingdoms rather than individuals. Astrologers advised kings about wars, harvests, natural disasters, political decisions, and religious ceremonies. As Babylonian influence spread through trade and conquest, neighboring civilizations adopted many of these astronomical ideas. The ancient Egyptians also became remarkable observers of the night sky. Their calendars were closely connected to the stars, particularly the appearance of Sirius before the annual flooding of the Nile River. This event signaled the beginning of one of the most important agricultural seasons in Egyptian civilization. Monuments and temples were often carefully aligned with significant celestial events. Centuries later, the ancient Greeks transformed Babylonian astronomy and astrology into a much more symbolic system. Greek philosophers combined mathematical observations with mythology and philosophy. Each zodiac sign became associated with legendary stories about gods, heroes, and mythical creatures. Aries became linked to the legendary golden ram from the story of Jason and the Argonauts. Taurus represented the mighty bull connected with Zeus and Europa. Gemini honored the twin brothers Castor and Pollux, famous for their loyalty and courage. Cancer became associated with the giant crab from the myth of Heracles. Leo symbolized the fearsome Nemean lion defeated during one of Heracles' legendary labors. Virgo became connected with goddesses representing justice, harvest, and purity. Libra represented balance, fairness, and justice. Scorpio symbolized the giant scorpion sent to confront the hunter Orion. Sagittarius became associated with the wise centaur Chiron, renowned for his knowledge and kindness. Capricorn combined the body of a goat with the tail of a fish, representing an unusual mythical creature. Aquarius symbolized the water-bearer who brought life-giving water to humanity. Pisces represented two fish connected forever by a sacred bond. These myths transformed simple constellations into rich stories passed down through generations. Around the 2nd century, the Greek scholar Claudius Ptolemy organized much of the astronomical and astrological knowledge available during his lifetime. His writings became enormously influential throughout Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East for over 1,000 years. As the Roman Empire expanded, zodiac symbols spread across much of Europe. Roman culture adopted Greek mythology while preserving many astrological traditions that survived well into the Middle Ages. During medieval times, astrology became closely connected with medicine, education, and philosophy. Many physicians believed celestial positions influenced different parts of the human body. Medical treatments were sometimes planned according to planetary alignments and zodiac calendars. Universities even taught astrology alongside astronomy because both fields were considered closely related. Although modern science later separated astronomy from astrology, their shared history remains one of humanity's most fascinating intellectual journeys. The zodiac was never originally created as simple entertainment. It began as an extraordinary attempt by ancient civilizations to understand the heavens, measure time, and explain humanity's place in the universe. As centuries passed, the zodiac continued evolving as different cultures added their own beliefs, traditions, and interpretations. The Romans helped spread zodiac symbols throughout Europe, ensuring they survived long after the fall of the Roman Empire. During the Islamic Golden Age, astronomers translated and expanded many Greek and Babylonian astronomical works. Their observations improved star catalogs, mathematical calculations, and planetary models that later influenced European science. While astronomy became increasingly based on observation and mathematics, astrology remained focused on symbolic interpretations of the heavens. For many centuries, the two subjects were studied together rather than separately. Kings, emperors, and wealthy rulers frequently consulted astrologers before making important decisions. Some believed the positions of the planets could reveal favorable times for battles, royal marriages, or political alliances. Royal courts across Europe often employed official astrologers whose advice was considered highly valuable. Even famous historical figures showed interest in astrology at various points in history. During the Renaissance, curiosity about the universe grew rapidly. Scientists developed better instruments for observing the sky, leading to revolutionary discoveries. The invention of the telescope completely changed humanity's understanding of space. Astronomers such as Nicolaus Copernicus, Galileo Galilei, and Johannes Kepler transformed our knowledge of the solar system. Their discoveries demonstrated that Earth revolves around the Sun rather than the other way around. As scientific knowledge expanded, astronomy gradually separated from astrology. Astronomy became a science based on observation, physics, mathematics, and experimental evidence. Astrology continued as a system of symbolic interpretation connected to personal beliefs, traditions, and cultural practices. Another fascinating fact is that the zodiac constellations are not actually equal in size. Some occupy much larger portions of the sky than others. The Sun also passes through a 13th constellation called Ophiuchus. However, the traditional zodiac continues using 12 signs because it follows the ancient Babylonian system established thousands of years ago. Another surprising discovery involves Earth's slow movement through space. Our planet slowly wobbles on its axis in a process called axial precession. Over thousands of years, this gradual movement changes the apparent positions of the constellations relative to Earth. As a result, the constellations no longer perfectly match the dates assigned to the zodiac over 2,000 years ago. This often surprises people who assume today's zodiac signs exactly match the visible constellations. Despite these astronomical changes, the traditional zodiac system has remained largely unchanged for cultural and historical reasons. Today, zodiac signs are found almost everywhere. They appear in books, movies, magazines, newspapers, websites, social media, mobile apps, jewelry, clothing, and works of art. Millions of people around the world enjoy reading horoscopes as a source of entertainment, inspiration, or personal reflection. Different cultures have also developed their own unique zodiac traditions. China, for example, uses a 12-year zodiac cycle represented by animals such as the dragon, tiger, rabbit, and horse instead of monthly constellations. Other civilizations created their own celestial systems based on local beliefs and astronomical observations. This demonstrates that humanity's fascination with the stars is nearly universal. Whether ancient farmers, sailors, kings, or modern astronomers, People have always looked toward the night sky searching for meaning. The zodiac reflects one of humanity's oldest attempts to connect life on Earth with the movements of the heavens. Even if modern science explains the universe very differently, the historical importance of the zodiac cannot be denied. It influenced calendars, navigation, architecture, mythology, religion, agriculture, and the development of early astronomy. Many of the constellations identified thousands of years ago are still recognized by astronomers today. Modern telescopes have revealed that these familiar star patterns are not groups of nearby stars at all. Instead, many of the stars forming a single constellation are separated by hundreds or even thousands of light years. From Earth, they simply appear close together because of our line of sight. This reminds us that the night sky is even more extraordinary than ancient civilizations could have imagined. The real history of zodiac signs is not just about horoscopes or personality traits. It is the story of humanity's curiosity, imagination, and determination to understand the universe long before modern science existed. For thousands of years, people looked upward and created stories that connected the stars with their lives, their cultures, and their dreams. Whether you see the zodiac as history, mythology, culture, or personal tradition, its influence on human civilization is undeniable. The next time you recognize your zodiac sign, remember that behind that familiar symbol lies a remarkable journey, stretching back more than 3,000 years to the earliest civilizations that first mapped the night sky.